Well, since there's an awkward pause, maybe we can begin.
Well, was it awkward?
Well, I don't know. Like, no one was talking.
Okay, well, we are live from France Square, Tuesday, June 7, 2022. Hovig, go ahead.
Yeah, just please follow us on Twitter. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this. We'd like to have as many people as possible, even though this session is being recorded. My guest today, his name is Khachatur from Gigi, Khachatur Grigoryan. He's the founder of Gigi, which is a well-known company. If you've ever used the app Gigi Taxi, then you know he's a person you have to thank. And I'm happy to have him. He's a good example of a successful Armenian company. And Khachatur Jan, we're doing a little bit low tech today, so I hope you're okay with that. But why don't you? Did I miss anything from your introduction? Actually, maybe we can begin with Gigi. How long have you been at this? You know, how long is the history of Gigi?
Thank you for invitation. Nice to meet you all here. We have started Gigi Laboratories in 2011, and Gigi Taxi was founded in 2014. In 2015, we have rebranded it to just Gigi and deleted the word taxi from our vocabulary because it was associated with bad service and rude service. And this word is not about our branding. It's prohibited even to tell the word taxi inside our company and among our friends. So the start was in 2014, but Gigi Laboratories was founded in 2011. In 2012, we have started Gigi Finances. It was stock market game. It was stock market simulator, which we have run until 2016. It was something that works in all over the world, and there was a lot of users. When I say a lot of, it was growing, but Gigi was growing faster, though it was only in Yerevan at that point. But it was because Gigi was very connected to our country. That's why inside the company, these two startups were competing with each other, and Gigi won. That's why we're right now. We serve around 500,000 rides per month around, and even more. And work in around 14 different cities of Armenia. Before pandemic, our operations were in 4 countries. We have been in Georgia, we have been in Russia, Moscow City, and in Los Angeles, where our product Gigi shuttle was working from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. During pandemic, Gigi shuttle was closed because it was impossible to use shared transportation method at that point. Right now, we're thinking about our future expansion, how we will organize it. The good news is we are growing very fast in Artsakh. It is
I saw the billboards there, and I saw I used it there too, so it works great.
It works in Artsakh and Sunik too. We're working already in 2 major cities of Sunik, in Kapan and Goris. Soon we will work in Sisan too.
Nice.
So though all these places are small, and it's not that much about big money, but it's about that we want in every single point of our country to have our transportation network. We want people to use it and to have good service. And in every single point where we go, people are happy. to know that Gigi exists in their city. Our business is though it's profitable business, but working in Armenia and concentrating on Armenia is something like social project for us.
Yeah.
It's not only entrepreneurship. It's like you're building your own country. It's something different from just doing business and just making money.
Okay, very well.
That's how I want to explain our motivation and our goals, what we want to have. By the way, we have already 4 offices in different cities of Armenia. It's not only points where you can become a Gigi partner, but it's points where some part of operations are done. Right now it's Gyumri, Stepanakert, Yerevan, and Kapan. And still we want to have offices in many other cities too.
Yeah, Khachatur Jan, that's a very interesting introduction. Let me just, we're being forced to move here, so if we're gonna mute, and in 1 minute we'll rejoin you, okay? Okay, so we're back. Yeah.
Hovik, I have a question. Do these shuttles work on demand like Uber and Lyft, or are they more synchronous, like there are daily shuttles between the cities, or hourly, or how it works?
So Yerevan, for example, Yerevan Gyumri works 10 times in 1 day. So it works like just every hour.
Okay.
And Yerevan Stepanakert is once a day. It's not like on demand, but there's there's different cities and different models of timings. So, but it's not on demand for now. But one day we're sure it will become on demand. So plus it works inside the Yerevan too. But again, it's like a fixed hours, and you are pre-booking your order. That's the point. So you can pre-book, for example, like you are pre-booking your plane ticket, something.
Yeah. So, have you had problems with the various highway closures that have happened after the war?
There were problems, but we're solving it. We're getting solutions for that. Not we, but like country gets. For example, when the road from Kapan to Goris was closed, there was another road. It's a bad one. It's not good, but it exists. And you're trying to you're trying to give this service to your users anyway. So
I was actually quite asking about that road. Can you talk a little bit about the condition of that road, and also if it takes longer or shorter to use that instead of the Kapan-Goris?
Kapan-Goris is awful road because, for example, it's it's a very narrow thing, and when some big truck goes there, and if it accidentally, it's like if it's broken and damaged, you will have a big jam there. And so I don't want to speak a lot of bad things, and because it harms people and it brings to have less Armenians in our cities. But if we don't change this situation which exists in our country, it's simply clear to me that soon we will have less populations in all over the country.
I understand.
You know, and a lot of people don't understand that, and they like it's because a lot of people are the only place there where they live is Yerevan city or Gyumri or Vanadzor or Stepanakert, but they don't feel the country, whole the country.
Right.
So but we are working in every places, and we speak with all of them, all people, and we feel that that we have no a lot of time for doing these changes. It's how can I explain? It's I like explain to my friends, and a lot of them don't understand that. There are a lot of things that they are talking that this it's a game of big countries, like you can't do anything anyway. This is one song that they sing, and there's another songs that I don't want to tell. But if we are not becoming united right now, and if we don't make the changes that should be made, we will have bigger troubles. So and these troubles are not like red car. You can't roll them back.
Yeah.
How you couldn't roll back my grandfathers were from the city of Karin. It's in where is it? So Karin, you can't roll back Karin. It's for rolling back Karin, you should roll back the whole history of the planet. Right now. So, but you still can have a very good country with very big and bright future if we come together and change the status quo. Status quo of loser or being a loser. You can't create a country by becoming a loser and living, being okay with that. It's not it's not a normal situation. I can't understand people who are thinking that if you give everything that everyone wants from you and you will become happy after that. So it's not normal. It's not about nature. It's against nature. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with
by the way, I just
sorry for emotions.
No, that's fine. I just want to add that Khachatur, despite being the founder of one of the most, I think, promising Armenian IT companies, tech companies, he, every time I've been on the square, I have seen him here, and I am here almost every day. So, kudos to you. Like before, I was sort of, until I saw, I knew who you were. I was feeling really sad because I didn't see that many tech leaders here. Now I've gotten to know many, even though for my own satisfaction, I think that the tech community, the IT community it should be at the vanguard of this movement in numbers as well. I'm happy to see that there are actually very influential people who are also, patriotic and who put their, country before any sort of, other consideration. So thank you for that, Khachatur. But I guess that leads to my next question, which is, how do we get this movement? What is your assessment of the status quo that you're talking about of the resistance movement so far? And what can be done next? Because do you think this is going to be a short thing, or do you expect and are you prepared to be in this for a long haul? I've heard people say months, I've heard people say weeks, but we've been already more than a month. And do you think we can get the Pashinyan's resignation anytime soon?
Thank you for your question. Before the question, you have started with the point that you don't see a lot of tech founders. I guess there are, and you don't know every one of them.
Right.
So, but it's like, a lot of people, it's not usual thing for them. It's not, you can blame somebody. It's not usual thing. It's not unusual. It's unusual thing. It's unusual situation. People are not like are not used for such kind of things,
Yeah.
And the point is that we should create some cool situation where being the part of resistance movement will become trend, and at that point you will see everyone there. Yes, it's right now it's trend for a lot of people. Overall, as I know, it's already more than 100,000 people
On and off.
there were at least one time they were not just in France Square, but they're like
Surroundings, yeah.
the part of actions and the part of meetings. Yes, but it's about the position. It's like in business. You have a user and you should acquire him. Sorry for my terminology, but I understand the process that way. If you don't see there if you see there overall 100,000 overall, not in one day, but if you want to see there 1 million, you should acquire that 1 million. It doesn't matter that you have such what I was telling, that it's unusual and very scary situation, and everyone should be united. But a lot of people don't understand that, and there's an information war right now. So there's another point, that there's a lot of people who believe that everything is okay. I mean, it's not okay, but they don't see this. They don't see that they can change something. So you should give them the product that you can change. Like in business, like in the creating startup. If you don't believe, you can't win.
Yeah.
It's easy as it is. So. We should work hard. I don't see it happen in 1 or 2 days, even in 1 week. So I'm ready for a long run, and this run doesn't start for me these days. Whole our story is about like changing status quo.
Right.
It was when I was a child. Armenian dream was to go to California,
Yeah.
And when I grown up, and at last I was in California. It was another story. I wasn't immigrant, I was an entrepreneur who want to expand Armenian startup to America. It's a win situation, and I want to bring a lot of Californians to Armenia, not vice versa.
Yeah.
So, but this mentality, this type of thinking, you should have promoted. You should have Armenian dream, like a concept. Every single nation that surrounds us should dream about being Armenian citizen. We should go for it, but we can't go for it being a loser. So, like to accepting. I don't say we should go to war. It's not about that.
We may have a question for you from Nairi.
Sorry.
Nairi, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Hi. First, I just wanted to say that we love Gigi. That's all we use whenever we're in Armenia, and for family who lives there, that's all they use. The service is impeccable. My question, actually, I have 2 questions. One is there any, I guess, any action on your part, on Gigi's part, in, spreading the word? Obviously, you've been there from day one based on what Hovig and everyone are saying, and that's very commendable. I guess on on the business level, is there any kind of action you're taking? And the second question is about the whole discussion about, getting people out there. As we know, summer is coming. A lot of diasporans visit Armenia during the summer. I'm going to be one of them. I honestly wasn't hoping that these protests would still be going on by July, but if they are, we're absolutely going to be joining. Is there any kind of, activity going on in the diaspora to kind of, make people, decide to come to Armenia for their summer vacation instead of elsewhere? Obviously, you can't force people, but I mean, any kind of discussion happening around that?
Okay, thank you for your questions. So the first question was about our company. I want to tell you that we have very vulnerable situation here. So one of my friends is in jail right now. So if you give such kind of it's like in boxing, if you will be open, you will get punched here. So the company by itself doesn't interfere to the process. I'm like a founder. Okay, it's my position, and everyone knows about it. And why another tech founders are not here? It's not a free country right now. Can we understand that? It's like promoted like it's free, but it's not free. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the first part, and the second part, sure, it should be big, like promotion to our relatives and friends in diaspora to come and join. But I don't see such kind of big movement right now. But we should work on it. So it's like we are not like have experience of doing such kind of things. It's like a big technology. I mean, it's in 2018 it's a different situation. People who do that, they have experience of doing that in 10 different countries. Yeah. So there's a technology,
and they had several different practice runs.
Yes, and it's this software. I mean, in my words, yes. They have written this software already many times. So we ordinary people, like we're studying and getting things done.
We're just ramping up, I guess.
Yes, and it's but we should do it like better. I understand that, and I used to say that if you lose, you should understand that you lose by yourself. I mean, you can't blame someone else. Even if you are not the general of the process, you are
soldier.
You're a soldier. Yes, we are soldiers in this game, but we should become generals. I mean, we should become generals by our knowledge. And we have not a lot of time for it. We should start on the run.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. And I guess just a very quick follow-up. Are you at all worried about, your safety or your freedom?
Sorry?
Are you worried about your own safety and freedom?
I'm not that much, but my relatives are.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
I think that for a lot of people, when you ask them, I mean, this is all like secondary.
So sorry for interrupting you. We have a lot of examples of people. They're armed, people who are they're the father of a hero soldier. He was hit by police. When he doesn't do anything. I mean, who am I that I'm sure I should think that they will not do the same with me or someone else? Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's fine. And you know what? And I want to just take the liberty of answering that question myself as well, because over the last few weeks, I have gotten to know many of the families of fallen soldiers. And you had like Yerevan. We talked to him several weeks ago. You may have heard those podcasts, but on the over the weekend, I was in Stepanakert. I was in Artsakh to meet with the families of the fallen soldiers there, and they have they have organized themselves. They have a little office where they meet, and they have actually bylaws for that organization that speak about statehood. That despite losing their most precious, despite losing their sons, despite losing their brothers, these people are thinking about how to improve the statehood of Artsakh and make sure that no other family is in that situation. So, just like Khachatur said, like, who am I when these people, despite losing their most precious, are still at it the whole day? If it's not, if it's not doing the work of their organization, they're watching actually the protests on TV, and they're with us in spirit. So. In my own, my own thing is like anything, like anything for me is worth it, as long as we get rid of this traitor and change the situation as possible.
Did you tweet your live IRL video from the Wall of Heroes in Stepanakert?
I didn't tweet it, but I put it on Facebook. But yeah, I mean. You will find, when I was doing that video, there's a new memorial in Stepanakert. It's several, like multiple different, I guess, walls of soldiers, and it's almost endless, but it's only like about 1,500 so far. And when I was doing that video, just FYI, I don't want to talk about the video. You can go to my Facebook and see it, but. There were 5 parents. It was at 2 a.m. at night, I think. It was past midnight, and there were 5 parents there, just randomly and spontaneously there. And there are always people, like families, sitting by that wall, remembering their sons, remembering their children. And these people have no home other than, like Yerevan or the Brotherly Cemetery in Artsakh, the Yekhbayrakan Gerezman, that memorial and their office, where they try to assume a semblance of life. And for them, life means basically struggling every day to remember their, ensure that the memory of their children is, is not forgotten. B, to ensure that there is justice for their children. That is what that's what goes through their mind every single day. How do we get justice, and C, how do we improve the statehood of Artsakh, which is what their children gave their lives for. So that's also like basically a bit of update on Artsakh, on my Artsakh visit for those of you who are interested.
I want to add something. Though there's a lot of problems right now that we face, but for me, Armenia and Artsakh are the safest places because we are together, and I feel safer than anywhere else. Anyway, that works for me, and it will become even more safer when we will do our job. That's it. I mean, I don't see a point for pessimism. I see that we should take this challenge and win this challenge. It's a huge thing. It's a big thing. You can't underestimate the opposite. It's not only like people who are like in government right now. They have status quo for all over the world, I guess. Yeah, and nobody cares about us. We should care about us. We should care about our country. So if we do that, everyone will be okay with that, and everyone will respect our job that we have done, though like we are not supported by them. That's my subjective opinion. I mean. but I'm sure for that.
Okay. Arsine, do you have a question?
Hi, I'm sorry. I think I missed part of the conversation, so I apologize if I'm repeating a question or an issue that was brought up before. But I wanted to.
By the way, Arsene, before, even though it says in the app, but can you introduce yourself for the audio part of the people who listen only to the audio?
Sorry, my name is Arsine Valadian. That's yeah.
Perfect. Now go ahead.
So yeah, my question for you would be with regards to sorry, sweetheart, give me 1 minute. With regards to like the concerns about the instability towards like the economy of Armenia, since you're in the tech industry particularly, I think a lot of people have hesitation to join the movement because they are worried that at this very unpredictable time, any kind of change in leadership would make us weaker. Is there anything that you could say to sort of reaffirm people that that this is not something that would affect the economy or in a negative way? Something that would be able to carry stability through from from Nicole to the next, basically.
Okay, Arsene Can, thank you for your question. For me, like entrepreneur, like a person who are doing business in Armenia already around 12 years, I don't see challenges to economy when the leader will be changed. But it's again my subjective opinion. But it's not one person is the the basement of our economy. Like every single company has its own its own vision of how do you do the business, and we have faced three or even more crises. The 2018 was a big crisis when the cities were closed, like there's no you can't drive in 2018. Then it was COVID. Then it was war, and everything was a big crisis. I don't see a crisis bigger than we already face. But if they stay, I see a big crisis, because it will. If you will not have country, I don't think that the business make any matter. I mean, yeah, you can make money in Istanbul, okay, but it's not about thing that I dream about. I mean, so no, I don't see any problem with for economy by changing this government, because they are not professional. They have no strong vision how they do something. The only point is to bring Turkish capital. I'm not interested in Turkish capital. I don't want to see Turkish capital in Armenia. I don't need this money. If it's about money, I will go to California and that's all. The game is over. I mean, if we want to create a country, it's not Turkish money that should help us to do that. There's no other. I don't want to discuss this. It's a red line for me, like Armenian. I'm not the ultra. I don't know something. Yes, I'm nationalist. Okay, well, like every normal Armenian, as I think so. But Turkish money will destroy us.
I have a couple
highly
questions
believe
to you
that.
as a businessman.
Oscar John, can you speak a little bit louder, please?
Yeah, this is Asbed Bedrosian. Khachatur, a couple of questions to you as a business owner in over there in Yerevan. First of all, thank you for staying in Hayastan and making it a better place to live. Okay, there's absolutely no doubt about that. Second, talking a little bit about the politics and the geopolitics of the area, I wanted to know how some of the negotiations would be affecting your business. For example, if places like Dikranashen were traded away, how would that alter routes for your company going from city to city? For example, will it make it longer? Will it make it more impossible? Can you talk just a little bit about that before my next question?
Thank you for question. You know, like in Kapan and Goris case, it's the same. So changing this, so building new road and not using the one that exists right now will be a bad thing for us. But it's like more moral thing. I mean, you're again becoming loser, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you are made
it's
to depend on routes through Nakhichevan, right? That's going to complicate things a lot.
Aspejan, we can barely hear you. Maybe it's on my side. Let me see. But if there's anything you can adjust on your side, like microphone, I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
Well, let me move. Yeah, I wanted to say, for example, if can you hear me any better?
I think so.
Okay, I want to ask, for example, if some of the roads are traded to the Azerbaijani side, and for example, Khachatur's company has to rely on routes through Nakhichevan. That's going to complicate and make things more expensive for riders, correct?
Yes, and it's for example the same thing with Berzor right now. We have if we have if we lose control over that road, I mean in this place not we but Russians, yeah. What we will have, a lot more people will leave Artsakh because it will not be convenient, and again, if there's no people, there's no business. I mean, but again, it's not about business. I want to tell you, it's about existence. So you can do business in everywhere. I mean, any business everywhere. IT business is you can. It's whole world is yours. Yeah. But I don't want to lose something that like was ours for 5,000 years. Artsakh is the place where one of few places where Armenian villages have history of more than 3,000 years, and
especially Hadrut.
Yes, and how it's not about money. I mean, it's
it's an intangible and it's it's immeasurable. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Khachatur. I mean, and we asked that to all our guests. Like, for instance, we asked someone from Artsakh, how would you feel if you were told to leave, or I think that they're not comparable. Like, security comes first. It's absolute essential. Like the Maslow's pyramid. And anything on top of that, being able to run a business, being able to go to school, being able to enjoy life comes afterwards. And I think Khachatur is correct when he prioritizes security and the right to exist first, because I'm sure that if all of Artsakh is displaced and there are Azeris living in Artsakh instead of Armenians, I'm sure Gigi won't be operating there.
Because it will be not interesting for me. Yeah. Someone is big fan of Turkish come to me and say, look, you will do business in I don't know, Kars and Ardahan and I don't know, Antalya. It's not interesting for me to building businesses in Turkey. It's interesting to me to do business in our country, to create our country, and do business in different other countries who are our neighbors and who are positive attitude over Armenians. If someone wants to kill you, it's not interesting to me to do business with him. It's not normal.
That is an important thing to keep in mind. But for example, if there is some kind of a normalization that happens, whether we like it or not, right? Some kind of normalization happens and Armenians start wanting to go to Gars and come back as tourists. Would you not want to serve such routes?
That's a different question.
Again, thank you for your question. The point that, as I see, this normalization, it's even during Soviet period, I talked to all the people who see all these things. There was no normal normal behavior from in Artsakh from Azeri officials who work there. There is a problem with justice. Armenians are like a second type of people.
Yeah, second-class citizens.
Yes, second-class citizens. When the train goes from Armenia to Azerbaijan to Baku, train, but there's
yeah, the roadway.
Roadway, yes.
Chopanoghi?
Chopanoghi չէ, what's that?
The highway?
Highway, not highway.
Train, railway.
Railway, yes.
Yeah.
When you pass the Armenian border, from Azeri side, there were people there throwing stones.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a normal thing. I listened it from the people who were living. I haven't lived in this time, so I don't believe in this normalization.
Yeah.
Again, we can do an excursion. I don't know, a road to cars and everything. It's possible, but it's not a big thing for us. I mean,
Okay.
it's a big thing to me to be a part of nation who has his own vision. If we are part of a system that tells us that we shouldn't have our own country and we should be like something, I don't know what is. We should imagine that we are like a country like a Belgium, where nobody wants to kill each other. We can't live that way. It's not the usual thing in our area. Can Israel live where they live right now without a strong army? It's impossible. So the same is here. We should have a strong army. We should create our own security system. It should exist. And normalization will come after that, if we have that. Sorry.
Yeah. I think no, I completely agree with you. My next question to you, again, as a businessman, as Hovi mentioned earlier, you have been supporting and are present at the protests often. How do you manage that as a business person to do your job as well as continue your business as well as support the protests? And what do you do if one of your employees wants to do that and it affects their work?
So, sorry,
So, one sec. I guess how do you
manage your work?
How you manage to make sure the business is running when you're here? I guess for instance, from my own example aspect, let me just say, my life is on hold right now. So I don't know about others, but I'm definitely, even my business activities are on hold while I'm doing this. But I'm committing a lot more time than others. But what's your current role at Gigi? I know you were the founder, but what if some of your employees want to come? How do we currently do this and run our lives?
So the company structure, our company structure is a bit secret now. I mean, a business secret, but it's like I'm the part of the day here. So I'm working anyway, and we're like infrastructure. We couldn't like close something and because we have around 4,000 partner drivers like our team, and we don't say employees, we say teammates. Yes, and if one of our teammates want to go to meetings it's in the evening, so it's okay. But that's it. So it's a free. I mean, for our company to do something, but everyone does his job. So it's. I guess I'm the most active from this point of view. Yeah. The main event of it's in the evening, so it's after work, and it's anyone who wants to join can join.
Okay.
It's upon them, so it's free.
Let me ask if there are questions for Khachatur Grigoryan, founder of Gigi Taxi.
One or two more questions, and then to respect the time, we can sort of close it up.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything come in right now.
No questions.
Just a second. Go ahead, Nairi. Nairi, you're muted.
Sorry, hi. Do you feel like you have or can have any influence to, other business owners, whether even if they're competitors, to, foster that kind of support for your team members to kind of give them the confidence that they can participate in these protests without worrying about their job security?
So, thank you for a question. Like my participation, for sure, a lot of people were surprised because there is first time when I joined something like that. Though we're supporting any type of event when it's about our country, but it's not an ordinary event. Yes, it's something extraordinary, and I guess it takes time for different leaders, entrepreneurs to have a decision to support openly. There are a lot of people that are coming, but they're not speaking about that. So it's like a comfort zone, To come to here is one type of changing this comfort zone. To speak about it's another thing. To get from the stage and speak from the stage, it's something else. So it takes time, If you ask me, this support is growing every day, but it's growing like slowly. If we want to grow it faster, we should do a lot more. I mean, we should do more talks like this. We should do more posts in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I don't know, TikTok, and all this stuff. We should learn a lot how things are done in these cases in countries where such kind of movements create success. So we should learn. That's I guess that's it.
I have a slightly different angle from Nairi. I wanted to ask you, Khachatur, as a business owner with 4,000 partners, does the government listen to you when you say that something is not good for your business?
Yeah, but except my battery is running out, so I'm gonna, and also we can really hear you. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna.
Can you tell the question once again?
But before that, let me reconnect with my phone that has battery power, and hopefully that will also mean more volume. So just one more minute.
Okay. Okay.
To be live again.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think your co-host status was blocking your request to talk.
Okay. So as I understand the question, the question was that my participation can harm the business and.
No, that was not the question. My question was, as a business owner with a large network of partners, does the government listen to you when you tell them that something is not good for your business?
Oh, okay, I got it. I got your question. No, there was no communication with government. I don't search for it.
Yeah, I don't see. You don't see.
But they, what's the problem right now? It's not only it's already they do such kind of things that even to say hi for someone from that team, it's not okay for me. Even though I have I have friends, people who were friends, but right now I don't want to talk to them. Do you understand the situation? So it's not usual situation. There were people who I was familiar with, who we go to the restaurant with each other, for example. Right now, I don't want to talk with these people because what they are doing, it's not okay. It's something that in history books will be written that what they have done was a big mistake. So
Yeah.
and all my life I will be working and I will be doing everything possible to make that happen. So what happened? I will explain. In the history books, it should be written that Armenian government decision to take to go to the road which will bring us to the end of our existence in our homeland. It's it's այլանդակ բան է, ինչ ասեմ, հայերեն ասեմ։
It's catastrophic. Yeah.
Yes, it's այլանդակություն է։ Այսինքն դա դավաճանություն, չգիտեմ, it's terrible. I don't know. So what they are doing is terrible. When there was Sargsyan president, everyone loved each other, and everyone don't love Sargsyan. It was okay. He wasn't bringing dividing people inside the family. And right now there's a situation where there's no harmony inside the society. It's a big problem, And but I'm sure that we will solve everything. I'm positive anyway.
And while we're at this, I know that we have a question, but I want to share a personal anecdote as well, because not many people know this, but I have a small IT company here, and I have been for the last 19 years, the success of that depended on a lot of things, but I basically stopped meeting with people here that were critical to the success of my company because of the same thing. Because I cannot as well do business with someone who is participating and who is aiding and abetting this regime. We had a meeting. Then, in 2 days, I was supposed to go to a meeting. The following day, I see a picture of that person who I'm supposed to meet shaking the hands of Nikol Pashinyan. I canceled the meeting because that's, I think that I'm glad that I hear that Khachatur expresses similar things, because especially when it's not an existing relationship, so yes, just for me at least, just by Pashinyan's existence, it is hurting my ability to do business, and consequently, it is limiting my investment in Armenia, even though that has been my life's goal, to increase investment to Armenia as much as possible. But that was my take. That's Hovik, and Khachatur said his own opinion.
Pizza Udo, do you have a question? You've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, I've joined a little late, so I don't know if you've
And can you identify yourself?
Yeah, I'd rather not say my name, but yeah, this is Pizza Auto.
Okay, you're Pizza Auto. We know you.
Yeah. So I'm myself, I am in the IT sphere, and I know how political and one-sided it can get. So my question to Khachatur is, you said you have 4,000 partners. Do they put pressure on you not to join this movement, or is there some sort of pressure on you from these partners or other business that you do to not join this movement and not to, stand with the opposition?
I got you. Thank you for a question. So, I'm a person like type of person when I decide to do something, I do something. I mean, and if I decided to join this thing and this movement, that's because I see a big trouble to my country, to my homeland, and to all my life I worked for prosperity, for the goodness for the benefit of our country and our nation. So, and those partners who know me by themselves know that. So even if they have another someone, if there's someone, let's say not only our partners but anyone, my friend, my relatives, or someone else, they know that uh, uh, I'm dedicated to creating a better country. So if I join it, that means that something is goes wrong way. So that and in this point, nobody can uh, turn, like disrupt this decision. So it's not about money, cause it's for them. By the way, it's for Armenians. I mean, even those who will not believe. I mean, one day they will understand. I hope this day will come sooner. And if you love them, I mean, it's okay. I mean, in the business it's the same. When you try to sell your product, if you believe that it's better, you will not become upset because you can't sell it to everyone. But you try to do that, and you know that one day they will start using it and they will become happy with it because you created it with love. The same is here. So if you love people, if you love them anyway, I mean, and I love them anyway because they're my nation. It's my they are my brothers, my sisters. I understand that a lot of people are brainwashed. A lot of people have different opinion because think they are very clever and they think they are so clever they can cheat Ottoman Empire. I hope they will start reading books and getting more information with whom they start to do diplomacy. So they start to do diplomacy with those who are created diplomacy. And they're like first grade pupils in the sorry for my English. So, but that's it. So,
Okay.
I love Armenians anyway, and if someone I not think like I think right now, I'm sure that one day they will change their minds and they will understand my position.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Well,
Thank you, Khachatur.
Շատ շնորհակալություն ձեզ բոլորին, ուզում եմ ասել հայերեն ասեմ, շատ ուրախ կլնեմ, որ նրանց ով որ հայքում չի, Երևանում չի, համեցեք, ամեն դեպքում չնայած որ ստեղծված իրադրության, սա հայերի համար ամենաապահով տեղն է, ամեն դեպքում is the safest place for Armenians all over the world. Ես համոզված եմ, որ մենք պետք է հավաքվենք մեր երկրում, իրար մեջքի կանգնենք ու մեծ հաջողություն ունենանք, ստեղծենք մեր երազանքի երկիրը միասին։ Ես համոզված եմ, որ մենք դա անելու ենք, անկախ ամեն ինչից։ Կլինի դա փոփոխություն իշխանության, մենակ դա չի խնդիրը, այսինքն այդ ստեղծելը, այդ կառուցելը երկար process է, որը որ միասին պետք է անցնենք։ Կրկին շնորհակալություն, thank you very much. And have a good day.
and good night. Yeah. Good night, Hovik. Good night, Allison. Bye, everyone. Talk to you soon.